In this video, I want to talk about some of our financial behaviours and what needs to occur to actually change them. So, starting off with our behaviours, there's a universal principle that our thoughts create our emotions and our emotions drive our behaviours. And when it comes to money and financial behaviours, we all know that our financial behaviours result in our financial results or our financial position. And unfortunately, a lot of people want to try and make changes from the behavioural point of view, but the behaviours are driven by the emotions and the emotions are driven by the thoughts. So if you want to change some of your behaviours, you need to first go back and think about, what are my thoughts that are driving this behaviour? It all starts there. So with that in mind, what you need to do is say you've got an behaviour that you really want to overcome, and it might be financial avoidance. So it's about, what is the thought, the underlying thought that is driving that avoidance in terms of not wanting to deal with your money. And it might be something like, and this is just an example, I'm bad at maths, so I'm no good at money. So growing up, you might have really struggled with the subject of maths and then decided as an 8 or 9-year-old that, well, if I'm not good at maths, I can't be good at money. And that's just not true. But it's a thought that you have. And if you think about not being good at something at school, a lot of those emotions that come up are embarrassment or shame. So here's your cycle starting. So why am I avoiding my finances and not wanting to do with it? Anything with it? It's not because you're lazy, it's the underlying thoughts. I'm bad at maths, so I've got to be bad at money. And the emotions that come up for that are embarrassment and maybe a bit of shame. And so then that is what's driving that financial behavior. Or let's look at another financial behavior. Let's look at overspending, or kind of like really nonchalant when it comes to money. I was working with a client last week, and when we uncovered what her underlying thinking was, her thinking was that money is used to control people. So that was her thought. And that thought was created, or that belief around money is used to control people. That belief was created when she was back in school, and she saw kids bullying other kids for money to get their lunch money. Or another thing that she experienced was in her friendship group. If you want to be my friend, you need to buy me something, or take me to the tuck shop, or get me a new toy. So she grew up seeing that money was being used to control people, to control little kids. And so she formed this belief or this thought about money. And it really created this kind of like, feeling or emotion, and that emotion drove, well, I just don't want anything to do with money. Like, it's not going to control me. I'm not going to use it to control other people's. But for her to kind of change that spendthrift, just not really wanting to do anything with money and just, earn it and spend it, she couldn't actually change that behavior without first going and having a look at, well, what is my underlying belief or thoughts around that? So that's really what I want to share with you in regards to, when you're wanting to change a behavior, you need to uncover the underlying thought or belief. And those thoughts can be quite sneaky, or those beliefs. So those ones that I was talking about with those examples, they go way, way back into childhood. And most of those thoughts we're not actually conscious of or have an awareness of today. They were formed. Most of these thoughts get formed between the ages of 2 and 12, and there's scientific research study was showing that most of them, the way that we are with money, is developed by the age of 7. So for you to uncover what those thoughts are that are driving those emotions and those behaviours that you're wanting to change, you need to go back and reflect on your childhood. What were the main money experiences that you had, and what emotions came up? And then whatever those emotions were, you started to form some patterns and behaviours. And those patterns and behaviours can get really sticky, and they can last through our teenage years, our 20s, our 30s, our 40s. But they kind of sit under our subconsciousness and we're not truly aware of them. It's kind of like, why do I always do that with money? But if it's in your subconsciousness and you haven't really gone back and reflected on that, it's really hard to uncover. So I'm going to take you through a little exercise because you're probably watching this video at home, so it's safe and you can close your eyes and do a little breathing exercise. But if you want to kind of scratch the surface around what perhaps you might believe around money, let's do a little exercise together. So I'm just going to get you to close your eyes in a minute, and I'm going to say 2 incomplete sentences. And when I say the sentence, just if you've got a pen or paper ready, just write down what comes up for you. So what we're wanting to do is we're wanting to bypass your conscious brain, which is your ego, really alert. We're wanting to kind of relax that and see if we can go into your subconscious part of your brain, which is where a lot of these sticky beliefs are formed. So if you're ready, close your eyes, get really comfortable in your chair, place your feet firmly in the ground, and your eyes closed. I just want you to take a really deep breath in and a long breath out, and another deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just relax all the muscles in your face, in your shoulders. Just feel the contact of whatever you're sitting on. Just relax everything. And one more deep breath in and out. Money is. Money is. What are the first thoughts or words or phrase that pops into your head when I said that? So I just want you to write it down. And then we're going to do it again, and I'll say the second sentence that I just want you to complete. And whatever comes up for you, just with curiosity, not judgment or, oh, why did that come up? I just want you to write it down. And we're going to do it again. So close your eyes, a deep breath in, count to 5, and a long breath out. And one more, just clear your mind, breathing in, relaxing your face, muscles in your shoulders, and breathing out. Rich people are. Rich people are. So, hope you, whatever word came into your head, I want you to write that down. So this is just like a really simple exercise to just kind of scratch the surface. I go a lot deeper when I work with clients one-on-one, but be really curious for you to unpack what came up for you, like what was money for you? And that might help you uncover a little bit about, what does money mean to you? What's the purpose of it for you? And then the second sentence was really around perhaps what you might think about rich people, wealthy people. And so if what came up for you was really positive, like rich people are lucky or fortunate or happy, that's kind of like a good indication of a healthy relationship. If, however, what came up for you that rich people were greedy or miserable or unhappy or something that's more derogatory, then what that might be doing subconsciously is actually blocking your access to being wealthy. Because say, for instance, if what came up for you was like rich people are miserable, well, I'm pretty sure one of your life goals isn't to be miserable. So if you unconsciously believe that rich people are miserable, you're actually going to be subconsciously blocking yourself from creating wealth and growing it because of one of your beliefs about that. So I hope you found that exercise insightful. Maybe there's something further that you want to unpack, or maybe that what came out for you was really good. But what I want you to take away from this is it's really hard to change a behaviour, a financial behaviour, whether it be overspending, under-earning, working too hard, getting yourself into debt, just completely avoiding your finances, or maybe you're too scared to spend and you're really just vigilant saver and don't have a lot of fun with money. It's really, really serious. Whatever those behaviours that you have around money, you need to go back and look at the emotions, and ideally to start with, what are the thoughts that are creating those emotions and behaviors, and start there, because that's what needs to change first, those thoughts and beliefs that you have about money before you can actually change the behaviors. So good luck with that exercise, and we'll see you in another video. Bye.